Today I thought we would do something called a Landolte Midlote, and that means a lemon sorbet with a paper decoration. And we're going to start out with making the water first. And here is a little carton of 3 cups of water. Now this one is a takeaway and these 2 are restaurateurs. And what we're going to do first is going to make the water. So we're going to start out with 2 cups of water, and for this we need hot or cold. But before we get the water, we're going to do some soap, and you have to be careful with the pumper because it can break off the lid. So you want to get some nice soap, just a dab. And see, you have that soapy water. You want soapy water. Now we can get the next cup of water. We're going to put a lot of soap in here because we're really sudsy. And I'm going to put a little more soap in this one because it isn't as sudsy. Alright, and now we need the unsudsed cup, because you need 1 testery and 1 blehora. So we have all our water, and now we need to add 1 tablespoon of soap. The reason I said an unsoaped cup is because we're not making the water look sudsy. So put soap. It should be a spiral of inspiration. Now, we need to go to the pot belly. Today I thought we'd do something called a duke dunva. And a duke dunva means a lemon meringue sorbet. And this is great on a hot, lazy Sunday afternoon. People like to have it, and it's very refreshing with some cheese wafers. Now, today I didn't squeeze the glasses, but if I had my spare time I would be able to. Now, we need to start out with some paper. And here is 2 strips of paper. 2 very thin, very organized strips. And we have scissors. Now, you want to make sure you get a scissors that isn't too sharp. Now, if you put your fingers in here, you will get a terrible bleed. That's the same with artichokes. So here is our lemon juice. And you can find that we have more lemon juice, and I added water to it. Then we have zest. Because I didn't want lemon zest. That would not work very well. Lemon juice would work very well. So we're going to start out by preparing our Sunday mixture. And the paper is our decoration. So we're going to start out with seasoning our bowl with some sugar. The reason we're doing this is because lemons can be sour. Now if you're making rhubarb, that's exactly what you have to do. So season your bowl with salt and pepper. Sugar will act as a emulsifier. And now we need to add the first millimeter of water. So we need to add all of the water to the bowl. And now we need to add a tenth of lemon juice. And if you know anything about lemon juice, it can be pretty olito. So add a hint of lemon juice. Delicious. The flavor of lemons really teases your palate sometimes. So put about a third cup of lemon juice in. And we're going to start by whisking. And we're going to start by whisking fast because the water needs to go up and jump. That's basically what we're trying to achieve. So whisk the water in with the salt, pepper, and sugar. Alright, now that is finished. Now we're going to add a little bit of salt and a little pepper, just for color. Now, sometimes we put too much greens in our drinks. Some people don't like greens in our drinks. So now we need to add more delicious lemon meringue. If you're making a meringue pie, this would be a perfect summer day drink. Now, I saw Joanne Weir's cooking class, and she was making an adult take on a lime sorbet. And it was actually a lemon sorbet, but she added lime to it. So, what she did to it was she made a grown-up take on it. So she added vodka, and then what she did was she just stirred it, pureed it. So now we're going to add more water, sudsy. Now, this is what you would have if you're watching the movie Powerline, because you've seen Powerline, and the color is very, very sour tasting. And the color it doesn't look that yellow because we didn't add much of the lemon juice to it. So you stir. Now we're going to test it. So with our trusty testing spoon, we test it. Now that is not very wanted because we want a bubbly but sudsy soup. So now we need to add more sugar, so if you're doing this, I'd recommend using a very high quality sugar. So now you are going to add more water to this. So you're going to add a lot of water because this is a really sudsy mixture. Now, if you're taking a shower, you pour this on top of your head. You know, my husband used to do that once. He used to pour this on top of my head. Now we need to whisk it. And now what we're going to do is that is ready to go. But first we need to add the last gallon of water. And now we need to add more lemon meringue. Now, Melissa came over to my house yesterday, and she's coming today to taste this, and I know she's going to love it. And, you know, in cupcake wars, when they used to taste things, the lady said, "Delicious, my dear." So I hope she'll say that to me. Anyway, what we need to do here is, since she's younger, she can't call me that, but now we need to whisk. If you're making a meatloaf mixture, a croquette, or a cabbage roll mixture, then it's going to make a very unappealing sound. So now, what you need to do is you need to retest it. For these types of things, you don't need very many testings. That's good. It needs to go in very thickly. That is perfect. Such a nice spoon there. Alright. Now we're going to add the last layer. Now if you're making a lasagna, this would be perfect. This would have to be noodly. Okay, test it. Sugar. And we whisk again. And we're going to test one more time to make sure it is exactly where we want it. Oh, like a mountain. Oh, if you're making sea bass in a salt crust, if you're making the sweet version, kind of savory stuff, you can do that. So, see, this is a wet wipe kind of thing, because if you do your whisk so sudsy like, that's what you get. We're going to set this aside because I don't want to get this in the way of my paper drawing. So now we're going to cut up paper. And if you're cutting up paper, there's always a good precaution for it, because you need to be very careful not to get messy everywhere. Now my husband never listens to me when I say this to him. Alright, so we're going to take one piece of paper off, and we have a flat layered paper, alright? So here is two little soggy spots. And if you have a little soggy spot, that's alright. Now we're going to cut the paper. And today we're doing strips. And what we're going to do is, after we make our strips, we're going to cut it, but barely all the way. So we're going to cut in a very thick motion. We're going to use all the paper we can muster. And I don't think we're going to need any scraps. Now, if something is imperfect, we do that. But so we just cut off the imperfect part after we're done with that. Alright. Alright. Now we need to cut, but as I said, barely all the way. So make some slits. Now this is a very simple way to get your papers in nicely. So it's going to be curvy, but it's going to be very good. So this is what I call my bannerlative. Now if you're celebrating a party, and if you take decorations of cupcakes, put them in your drink, then they will get cupcake soggy. So you get other decorations, like the one I just made, and then put it on top of your drink, but with some tape, of course. You can color it, do all the things that you want with it. And people don't want this to get in the drinks, so that's why it's put on top. If you're having a happy birthday, this would be perfect. So you made one. Now I'm going to make another one. So I would do it the long way. And they will be different size. This depends on what you do with it. So now you want, if a strip is imperfect, you get rid of it. Now you want to cut with a very good instant way. Now you want to cut the short way because it's the best you can do. So now we're going to make slits. Now they're going to be different sizes. And if they're going to be different sizes, then you have to be careful, because you're going to have to adjust. Alright. Now we need to add this to our mixture once we're done with it. So we're going to make about 5 to 10 strips with this particular paper. If you can put many sized ones. Now I said we're doing the paper method, but if you have a very short piece, we can cut out squares. And they don't have to be exactly squares. So for this, drew, using good ultimacy. Now we're going to cut along the other short edge. If you have a golden, I know that country lady, long, sang very good song. She's a very good lady. She brings a tear to your eye. And there's a country lady, and that's the lady who brings a tear to your eye. So you need several pieces of paper and several strips. And I want to cut out all the pieces of paper and all those strips. Whoops, get that paper down. If you have an imperfect paper, well, you just cut strips. So cut good strips, and then leave your paper aside. If you have a pesticide, they would love paper. I mean worms. Now, if you get an imperfect piece, you're going to cut it into squares. If you get a perfect piece, well, you're going to cut into regular. Now that's a perfect piece, so now we can cut into here. And then we're going to add this to our mixture, and then we can serve. That's good. Now we're going to do a few more this way. And try to watch yourself over the table, because of course you're going to splatter. And if you splatter, you use your other piece. So now you can have your triage. And now we can cut and cook. Well, we're not going to cook it actually. Our strips. Good. Now we have all of our beautiful strips. Now we're going to take this lemon meringue mixture, and now we're going to add pieces of paper to our mixture and try to separate them. So put them in the mixture. Just throw them all in. There's no pesticide way after this. And then you're going to basically turn them over and push them down. So you basically need all of your big responsibilities. And now you're going to put in here. So if you don't have a big spoon, this won't work very well. but I'm sure they will for you with a small spoon. So now you need to press all the papers down. That looks like tofu. When you do it, it looks like tofu toki. Tofu toki is not good, like for vegetarian. Tofu soup. Tofu dessert soup, I guess I could call it. Now, for the glasses that with soup in them, and I got some beautiful Chanel glasses from my friend Mr. Goldie. And we're going to fill our glasses with this mixture. Going to fill our glasses with a lot of the mixture here. And don't get too much. Just get a few. And now you need to get some Kleenexes and your big duster. So you're going to now fill up the glass with dusting, and if you are too impatient, well then you can carefully pull to steam the glass, and it can splatter, so you must be kind of careful. Now we're going to get my spoon. I don't know where my spoon is, but now we're going to just take some of this mixture. I use my cup to do this. And put it into my glass. So put the mixture into your glass. Now, at the beginning you have troubles doing it because you don't have any smart ideas to do it. But that looks perfect. Now we're going to get our last glass. We're going to get our serving. And for the person who does not like sour stuff, there's one person that does, one person that doesn't. You get a small serving, so you use up all of that. The more you use, the less you have in the glass. So now you need to take some of this mixture, and you put half of this into here. And half of it into here. So one has to be full and the other can be fine. So here is my beautiful dessert with lemon and sauce and paper decorations. Cheers! And until I see you in your guts again, I'm Julian Wogman. Wound.